Is ethics the same as morality? In what ways are they similar to and distinct from each other? And why is it important to distinguish them? In fully grasping what ethics is all about, it would be helpful to define these terms and clarify the misconceptions surrounding them. The terms ethics and morality are sometimes used interchangeably, and in such cases, they are generally understood as a set of values, principles, or rules that should be followed by a group of people to which they apply. While this is not entirely incorrect, there is an important point of divergence that is central to our understanding of their relationship. Morality, in its most basic sense, refers to a set of values and principles that guide human behavior, or codes of conduct that distinguishes good from bad and right from wrong. Etymologically, morality stems from the Latin words moralis, which means manners or morals, and mos, which means manners, customs, or laws. Morality then pertains to the beliefs and behaviors acceptable to a certain group or society, shaped by culture, tradition, and religion, among others. On the other hand, there are two senses in which we may understand ethics. The first sense is similar to how we understand morality, that is, as a set of moral values and principles that guides a group towards correct behavior. Here, ethics may pertain to standards or guiding philosophies of certain groups, as in the case of business ethics or medical ethics. But ethics must aptly be understood in the second, more significant sense, which is as a field of study. Ethics is also called moral philosophy, and it finds its etymological roots in the Greek words ethos, which means custom or character. It is the branch of philosophy that deals with the systematic questioning and critical examination of the underlying principles of morality. It allows us to examine our values, beliefs, judgments, and choices through critical practice. Metaphorically, we can think of ethics as the sharpener of our pencil, which is morality. Through time, a pencil may wear down or break, and by then, it falls short in serving its purpose. In the same light, our moral beliefs and actions may need to be re-examined. They may need to be sharpened, refined, and enhanced to ensure that they remain apt to new and changing contexts. Hence, ethics is not merely the set of moral principles by which people ought to live, but, more importantly, it is the field of study that enables us to examine, create, and clarify these moral principles. In other words, ethics is the study, and its subject of inquiry and analysis is morality. But ethics as a field of study is also distinct from other familiar subjects taught in primary and secondary education, such as GMRC, which stands for Good Manners and Right Conduct, or Values Formation, which is sometimes referred to as edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. The aim of these subjects is to teach proper behavior through lessons on etiquette, virtues, and spirituality. Generally, these subjects proceed through definitive iterations of what to do and what not to do. So in a way, they are more instructional than critical in nature. Ethics, however, goes beyond the what questions. It asks the very crucial whys behind our moral beliefs and actions. Unlike GMRC or values education, ethics provides us with the tools for moral reasoning to be able to assess why certain actions and behavior are considered moral or immoral. Simply put, ethics is distinct as it aims to investigate the fundamental basis of our moral evaluations. As times change, so do our mores and even our laws. But we must be careful not to equate morality with legality. Although legality and morality are closely related, there are important differences to take note of. For one, the former is a narrower concept. It pertains to whether an action is in accordance with the law, which are codified, formalized, and enforced by authorities, with specific sanctions and penalties for disobedience to preserve social order. But we know that the law is not exhaustive of all our moral beliefs. What is considered moral conduct may not be specified in the law, or at least not yet. And there are immoral behaviors which are not necessarily considered illegal. Additionally, not all laws are moral, since it is possible to have laws which are morally questionable or repugnant. This is why following the law does not necessarily make an act moral, nor does it necessarily make one a moral person. Aside from rights, duties, and the nature and the purpose of one's actions, questions about morality also involve discussions on the role of intentions, virtues, and the value of character. While the nature of the relationship between law and morality remains to be a rich area for debate in ethics and the philosophy of law, it is nonetheless clear that they influence each other and contribute to shaping human behavior. Alongside the law are other factors that influence our morality. You will notice that our existing mores is an amalgam of various beliefs and practices coming from different cultures. One notable influence is religion. Looking at the history of the Philippines will explain the predominance of Christian morality and the traces of animism in how we understand correct and acceptable behavior. This is why discussions of good and bad and right and wrong sometimes lead to discussions of sin, evil, heaven and hell, and even the occult. However, we must be careful not to confuse morality with religiosity. Some seem to believe that religion is a precondition for morality. That is, without belief in God, people will necessarily become immoral. This, of course, is not true, because moral beliefs may be held and moral actions may be made outside of religion. Religious morals are just one aspect of the wide, complex map of our morality. This means that one can cultivate virtues and do the right actions regardless of religious belief. This also means that religiosity is not necessarily a marker of morality. The role of religion in shaping morality is an important aspect that requires interreligious and intercultural dialogue. Because, inasmuch as religion is said to mire our moral discussions, we must also recognize the ways in which religion can enhance morality. But the extent to which we allow such influences in our value systems and behaviors remains to be a central question in ethics. The pressing moral issues in reproductive health, marriage and divorce, and gender equality, among others, point to a serious gap in understanding, which is caused by a serious gap in our moral and socio-political discourse. We need critical, creative, collaborative, and caring thinking to engage in these difficult conversations. Because however difficult, they are ultimately necessary. This makes ethics an invaluable field for moral and social development. And it is a field that everyone must engage in. By virtue of our membership in society, we are inevitably part of this intricate web of moral relationships, thereby emphasizing the crucial role of every individual as rational moral agents that can not only follow the mores, but more importantly, alter them and forge new and better ones through dialogue and criticism to effectively address the needs of our developing society.